Do you have a business or service that you want to grow? Are you looking to reach potential customers in a new, highly engaging way? Get the ultimate home field advantage by pitching your brand with the Royal RioT podcast. Throughout the long MLS and NWSL seasons, we drop 2 episodes weekly, one covering all the action of the red-hot Real Salt Lake and another for the rapidly rising Royals. Our listeners are loyal, passionate soccer fans who love to show up and support the brands that back our community. We offer comprehensive sponsor bundles that go way beyond a simple ad read. In addition to pre-roll and mid-roll ad spaces during episodes, you may choose to include personal host testimonials, a permanent link in our show notes, t-shirt ad space on Royal RioT merchandise, and dedicated shout-outs across our social media channels. If you're ready to score a new fan base, call Jimmy today at 501-749-0507. Again, that number to call is 501-749-0507. Send us an email at royalriotpod@gmail.com. Your brand, our episodes, and your new fan base. It's a spectacular hat trick.
You're listening to the Royal Riot.
And we are underway. Jimmy Coonrat's very vocal in directing this press right now for the Royals. Delser on the steal from Hyatt. Goes to work. Lays it off for Tejada. On the service for Post Lacasse. Crashing in. Mackenzie Arnold says no. Tanaka muscles it away for Utah. Now she charges. Rapinoe. Palacios through the air. Arnold, it's in. Utah has even the score. Rising for it, Palacios. And she silences the crowd at Providence Park. Yappy on the bounce. Tanaka looks to fire. Lacasse is there. Chloe Lacasse tallies. Utah leads. It's the dynamic duo for the Utah Royals.
Welcome back to the Royal Riot, the podcast where we always talk about Utah Royals and really nothing else. Do we ever talk about anything else, Brooke, ever?
No, never.
Doctor, can you think of anything we've ever talked about besides the Utah Royals on this podcast?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes, true. Chicken tendies. We have talked about a few other things. All right, I'm remembering everything now.
Yeah.
Stockton's dislove, his hatred of Rice, his hatred of Portland. We've talked about Brooke's job, her car. We've talked about a few things. And you know what? We should be bringing all this back up because it's kind of a mid-season wrap-up today for us at the Royal Riot. We're going to talk about all the great things that have happened to date. But we do need to start with another update as to why Maggie's not with us, why it's my horrible voice bringing us in. Update on Maggie. She did pull out of the UFC event. She told me that she didn't know it was such a political thing that was going on June 14th at the White House. When she heard that, like so many artists and others who have pulled out of the event, she did as well, which is awesome because it's giving her time to work on her commencement speech. She was asked to give the speech at the National Creek University. It's not accredited by any accrediting body. They don't graduate students once or twice a year like most universities. They do it daily. She'll be speaking to an audience of about 4 over Zoom. And it was really cool. She shared with me on Slack her speech. It's entitled The First Rule of Life is Be a Dog. And I just think it's awesome. She's going to receive an honorary doctorate in life experience. So congratulations to Maggie. I hope your speech goes off as you intend. Anything you would maybe throw to Maggie as maybe a toss into her speech? I know it's kind of locked and loaded, but anything you would have her give to the National Creek University students?
I would say, so I've been watching the College World Series softball. And last weekend, Mississippi State ended up beating Oklahoma, like University of Oklahoma, to go to Oklahoma City for the World Series. And one of their players said that an underdog is still a dog. So, I mean, she could throw that in there.
That's strong. That's good. I like that.
Dang, that's a good line.
Today, we are, as I said, we're going to talk about the awesome form of the Utah Royals, but also we'll maybe take a few minutes and talk about the state of the league as we wrap up this first half of the season. We will go into details about the match in Portland. And then if we're feeling it, we may give some mid-season awards out. We will also try and answer some of the tough questions like, are the Utah Royals elite? Is this scheduling or is this team really elite? Is this a team that we're going to see towards the top of the table second half of the season? We can also highlight when they come back to action, what matches we can look forward to. And then, I don't know, at the end, we could slap it up, wrap it up, flip it, rub it down, and maybe play a game. We'll see. I don't know. But because it's a break coming up, because we're in the break, we're going to take a break. Don't expect any episodes from us in June. Brooke Stockton, what are you going to do with all your free time? Brooke, what are you going to do?
Well, next week, the Utah Talons softball team start their season, so I'll be hitting up every home game for that. And they're pretty much the entire month of June. So you can catch me at the University of Utah softball field.
Is there any shade at the University of Utah softball field?
Yes, if you're in like behind home plate and some of the sections that kind of go out from home plate. And yes, I am. It'll be weird not looking into the sun like I used to do at Royals games.
Yeah, I was wondering if it would feel like old times for you at the softball matches.
No, luckily I paid for a seat under the cover.
Well, good on you.
Yeah.
Stockton, what are you going to do with all your free time in June?
Well, I'm going to celebrate my birthday.
When's your birthday, Stockton? Which day is it?
The 18th.
Stockton, do you want to maybe put out your Venmo here real quick so everybody can send you a birthday gift?
No, it's okay.
All right. Well, look him up. See if you can find him. What are the last 4 digits of your phone number, Stockton, in case somebody wants to look you up? Stockton's looking like he's scared. Never mind on that. I don't know what I'm fully going to do. I was thinking maybe I could turn some attention to my side podcast that I'm trying to get started and launched. It's called DiCaprio's Pistachios. It's a podcast where I talk about all of Leo DiCaprio's work. I talk about pistachios, nutrition, recipes. And then I also maybe talk about some of the pistachios that I found that look like Leonardo DiCaprio.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
Well, if you do an episode on Titanic, I'll join you for that episode.
Is that a big movie for you? Do you love it?
Yes.
How many times have you seen Titanic?
That's a good question. I have no idea, but I can recite all the words.
Can you really? That many times?
Yes.
All right, we need to take just a brief moment since we don't have Brooks Bench to stroll over to today because it wasn't a home game. What is it about the movie you love so much?
All of it. Like just
all of it.
I just love, of course, the Jack and Rose story, but I'm actually, oh my gosh, I should not have brought this up. I love learning about Titanic. I'm a Titanic nerd. I don't know why I just outed myself as a Titanic nerd, but I am.
I love how Titanic nerd could go in a couple of different ways. You're a Titanic nerd. I love that.
Yeah.
Give us one really interesting fact about the Titanic, either its demise or just its origins, anything.
So I've been listening to this podcast, actually. It's called Witness Titanic. Kind of gotten far behind on the episodes, but one of the episodes I just listened to recently is one of the guys that worked in the engineering room where the Morse code is, and just his story of that night and little things that happened throughout the night. But one of the weirdest things is him and this guy that he worked with, they were told, do not fix the machinery at all. You're not engineers. You do not work on it. You just wait till the next port. Well, the other guy decided to fix it. And luckily he did, because otherwise they wouldn't have gotten the message out that Titanic was sinking. And because he fixed it, they got help.
Wow.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so it's cool to listen to little things like that because it's actual testimony from the survivors from the inquiries of the U.S. inquiry and the British inquiry. So just little tidbits like that are cool to hear.
That is cool. And so if your boss ever comes to you and says, don't clean up that spreadsheet, don't go that extra mile, you say, if Harold Bride hadn't done his job, what would have been the ultimate catastrophic outcome? Be a Harold Bride. Don't be Harold Bride's boss.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we started on that. How did we get on it?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo. All right. So June's going to be fun. One other thing we can look forward to in June, as we mentioned on the last episode, and please feel free to go back and listen to the little segment where we outline the dates and the matches for our Royals players who got called up. But again, just as a reminder, we had 9 called up. I just learned today from Brooke and Stockton from the AP Press, the hot news. It came through Morse code from Harold. Harold, what was his name? Bride. Harold Bride just sent out a Morse code message saying that Yanni has pulled out. Yanni has decided that there are bigger things in life, greater things in life, and she's going to spend some time with family. So we have 8 players, if I counted correctly, who are still going to be playing in a few friendlies beginning of June. So check those out.
Should we mention that Kate was called up after our last episode?
Yeah, and what do I have in bold on my notes? Talk about Kate, because last time when we announced those players, Kate hadn't been called yet. She was actually called the very next day. As I was editing, it came out that Kate was called up. Brooke, where did she get called to? Which team? Which group?
She was called up to the U23 youth national team.
Yep.
Interesting.
Stockton, thoughts on that?
Happy for her. Should have been the senior team. That's about all my thoughts.
Yeah, Brooke, anything else you'd add to that? Any thoughts of your own?
Well, I just think it's a little interesting that she was called up to the U23s and she's 27. So I know they can take a handful of overage players, but it feels a little weird to me at the same time. I don't know. Like, great for Kate. Maybe it is a stepping stone to get to the senior team, but I almost feel like it could be kind of like a slap in the face, like that you're that much older and you're going with the U23s. But I don't know. Maybe it's good stepping stone for Kate.
Yeah, good stepping stone. And I think the other thing that I get from it, and I think it was said in one of the releases, so it's not an original thought, but Kate has a ton of experience and leadership qualities that she can pass to the younger players. I also just think ain't nobody going to score on the U23s when Kate's on the pitch. So they're taking their friendlies, right? But anyway, yeah, I think a lot of good can come from it. It does get her more exposure to Emma Hayes and the other coaches. So nothing but good, really. Let's talk state of the league here for just a minute as we wrap things up this first half of the season. I really don't know if I've already said this on the podcast or if this was pre-roll, but there will be, at the end of the season, 8 teams in the playoffs. Of the 8 teams that currently sit in that categorization of playoff bound, it is wild to me to see how close everything is. 12 matches, 12 plus matches in. Orlando sits in 8th. San Diego sits at the top in 1st. And what's wild is only 8 points separate those two between 8 and 1st. 4th, 5th, and 6th, which are the Spirit, Gotham, and KC, they all sit on 21 points. And it's just so tight. Brooke, Stockton, help the guy who has a bad memory. Is this typical? Are we usually this tight in the top 8?
It's tighter than last year, because last year KC ran away with it. They had 65 points. Number 2 had 44 points last year. So
yeah, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say to either of you about how you think the second half of the season is going to go with the current standings?
I think for most of the teams, the way it's going, I think decision day is going to be huge this time. It won't be like, 1 or 2 teams, trying to get the last spot. I think it'll be kind of a dogfight to get that final spot.
I could see the Shield going to decision day too, with how tight it is up top. San Diego is ahead of Utah by 1 point. It'll be a real dogfight.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will be a dogfight. It's a longer second half of the season. It's a longer season, as we've discussed previously. But this kind of rolls into the next question I thought I'd throw at you too. And we can go into this as much or as little as you want. I have some stats up too that I think are interesting, but I'm just curious. First half of the season, is this proof that the Utah Royals are in fact elite and deserve this place at the top? Or is this scheduling that we primarily played clubs whose winning percentage was at or below 500? Or is it something else? What do you think? And again, I'll back up my thoughts with some stats and be a douchebag and not give you the same opportunity. But yeah, just thoughts. What do you think?
I will say I think the defense is elite for sure. The offense is great. I don't think they're elite quite yet, just because they haven't been putting away as many opportunities as they should, which has led to a couple of lost points this year. Not to say the offense is bad or anything. They just need to start putting away their chances at a higher rate, in my opinion. But the entire team's been fantastic so far. I think we're, third in the league in goals given up. So I think if the defense continues and the offense gets even better, then we will become elite and remain near at the top of the table.
I mean, of course, I'm going to say the Utah Royals are amazing, but I don't want to say we've had a favorable schedule, but kind of, with just now where teams are sitting in the standings. But I think, especially looking at like the first 2 games, Kansas City, San Diego, we definitely dropped points there. Clearly, a big reason now at this point is Mina wasn't there. She was with her national team. Yeah, I think like Stockton said, our offense does need to be better, but I think we've done a very good job of holding our own. And a lot of the games that we've played, just these scrappy wins that we've had, I think just shows how much of a different team we are. Some of these games where we, like at Denver, when they tied it, I feel like in the past couple seasons, we would have probably ended up losing that or maybe squeaking out a tie, and we found a way to get that win. We'll talk about the Portland game, obviously, but we went down early and, it was a mistake on our end. But I don't know. I just think this team is different, and I think we're finding ways to win or get points that in the past couple seasons we wouldn't have normally gotten or had.
No, I agree with you. And I said I was going to use some stats to back it up. I'm going to say this team is elite, deserves to be where they're at, deserves all of the fanfare and the accolades. They are 4th in the league right now for goals per match, which sounds lower than you would expect. But when you look at Washington Spirit, sits at the top with 1.6. We're really kind of tied with Portland at 1.5. So really, I think we're probably 3rd. Goals conceded, we're 3rd in the league. We're only conceding 0.8 per match. Our expected goals is incredibly high. I mean, you just look at everything that matters, in my opinion. You look at set piece goals, we're one of the elite teams. Corners, we lead the league. So that means we're getting time and again into the opposition's final third. Big chances created, we're 3rd in the league at 30. Portland's just above us at 31. So everything tells me everything is going to Jimmy's plan, the coach's plans, the players' hopes and desires, all their hard work. This is an elite team. I don't think scheduling is as big of a storyline as maybe some have tried to infuse it in and make it. Yeah, I expect more of the same second half of the season. Even to one of your points, Brooke, I think things are going to get tightened up. I think it's just onward and upward. So kudos to them for all their hard work, everything that they're doing. This team's legit.
Let's take a quick break.
University of Utah fans, we have fresh new gear for you to elevate your game day and everyday style. Check out brothersforlife.com. That's brothers, F-O-R-E, life.com, where you will find the freshest, officially licensed U of U merchandise. The Blackhawk collection is a dope accessory for fans, alumni, and athletes who rep the U with pride. The design blends iconic U of U branding with a distinctive Brothers for Life aesthetic, making them a standout addition to any Utah fans' collection. BFL Promotions can also assist you in creating custom-made products for your brand or an upcoming event. BFL Promotions is your one-stop shop for a vast array of promotional products and business gifts. Their extensive offering of products will ensure that you find the apparel, bags, drinkware, awards, and much, much more to help you promote your brand. Check them out today at brothersforelife.com and see why so many people use BFL Promotions to show up and to stand out.
If you're sourcing inventory for TikTok, Whatnot, eBay, or Amazon, Titanic Sales was built for you. We specialize in closeouts, overstock, and opportunity buys on name brand products. In this market, sourcing is everything. Titanic Sales brings you the deals that haven't been picked over, with pricing that leaves real profit on the table. Whether you're testing new products or are ready to scale, We provide a consistent flow of inventory across dozens of categories. Buy smarter, turn faster, and maximize your margin with Titanic sales. To learn more, call Kevo today at 801-860-8061. Again, the number to call for amazing deals on a wide variety of inventory is 801-860-8061. Titanic sales. Big inventory, bigger margins.
Let's get back to the show. Well, let's maybe go into the Portland match. Let's talk about all the good things, maybe some of the finer details, but it was up in Portland. It's historically a tough place to go in and get 3 points, but I'm going to just start it off by saying it looked like the Utah Royals were going to take 3 points. First half of the match, they dominated. I think everything felt like it was going in Utah's way. The press was exceptional against Portland. They were struggling to work out against that press. What did you all see? What were some of the things that stood out? What did you like about their play?
I think, like you said, we were pushing. Like, I don't know how we didn't score first. Just everything, like you said, was going right. We were pressing high. We had chances. And I think even through majority of the game, it stayed that way.
First, I do want to point out another interesting stat. Before the Utah Royals played there, no team had scored in Providence Park since, I think, the last time the Royals played there. Kudos to the Royals on breaking that streak for Portland. But yeah, like you both said, they were pushing, had chances, and did very well the first half of the game. It was a unfortunate mistake in the back that gave Portland their goal.
Yeah, and let's talk about that in just a second. I just want to back up something you said, Stock. I wrote down that in the 17th minute, the Utah Royals had been in Portland's final third 17 times. I mean, they were constantly just peppering Portland with just that incredible press and that incredible just combination of passes and variances of passes in. And there was one in the 14th minute, if you go back and look, where it was an opportunity for Chloe from Anna that unfortunately Arnold blocked out, but it just felt like everything was going towards that goal. And then, yeah, let's go back to it. In the 21st, Moultrie's going to end up getting on the board. And it does come off of an unfortunate series where I believe Mandy played it out. Narumi took a little bit too hard of a touch and played it back towards goal. There was some confusion between a couple of the defenders on who was going to kind of clear it out. And Moultrie just played the poacher and just said, well, if you don't want it, I'll take it. And just took it forward against Mandy and slotted it near post right by Mandy's outstretched right arm. Just kind of, it looked like through her arm by her body. Yeah, they go up first, which was so unfortunate because they so weren't deserving. They had very few opportunities. We were, I think up to that, we were like 4-1 on shots. They couldn't connect passes, and yet they get on the board first, so it kind of stung. Did you feel like Brooke or Stockton that it took any of the energy out, though, or did you feel like they rebounded pretty well from that?
I think it took some energy from them. Like the momentum swung Portland's way a little bit, but then near the end of the half, when the Royals scored, it swung right back.
Like Stockton said, I think it did for a little bit, but then they just kind of turned it on a little bit and started.
For me, and again, world's worst memory, I have the memory of a goldfish, but it felt like there was a sequence. It felt like right after the goal where our passing was exceptional and it was purposeful and it was like, okay, F you, let's get this going. So let's just jump ahead. Let's jump to that goal that would tie it up. Who would you say is most responsible for that goal? If you had to name one player on the pitch, who would you say?
Mina Tanaka.
Yep.
Brooke, you were shaking your head like you were going to say this name. Is that true?
Yeah, I was.
Can either of you walk us through just what did Mina do? Why was that so particularly her moment?
The way she just like kept the ball. She just like, I remember her just like keeping her leg in there as she's kind of like stretched her leg out, kind of just like pulled it to her and just, I mean, kicked it out wide to Naria, but she did all the like hard work to keep the ball.
Yeah, I mean, her ability to get her body between the opposing player and the ball, her ability to keep her center of gravity in check and to use her strength, her ability to somehow magically keep the ball at her feet. Here's what Kate had to say about that in the post-game presser.
Same story another week. Mina is such a talented, solid player for us. I mean, our entire offense runs through her. And like you said, even if she's not directly scoring or assisting, she's creating such chaos and she's dragging so many defenders. I had to talk to the ref. I'm like, 5 people are trying to follow her at once, So she's so vital to us. And so that grit, that determination, the way she plays, it just really allows the rest of our players to thrive, and it sets the rest of our offensive players up for success. So can't underestimate how important she is for this group.
But yeah, Mina kept that alive. And then as Brooke mentioned, she does pass it so that Naria can get on the end of it and send a perfectly weighted floater in. And then Stockton, who was on the receiving end of that floater?
Kiana Palacios. And CC Delzer.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
They ran into each other, but Kiana Palacios is the one who scored.
Yeah, and to quote Rob Bass, it takes 2 to make a thing go right. They wanted to make sure that ball was going in.
Indeed.
But then we did see in the replay, it was definitely Kiana. It was her noggin that popped it towards the far post, just over Arnold's outstretched hand. I think she got fingertips on it too, but it didn't matter. It was going in. How fun is that? How fun is it Kiana is getting on the board? How fun is it to see her smiling? How fun is it to see the team rally around her?
Oh, it's awesome. I'm glad the floodgates have seemed to have opened. Hopefully it continues into the second half.
Yeah, it is tons of fun. All right, so yeah, we finish off the first half tied up 1-1. Second half, what stuck out to you two? We don't need to go through everything, but what were your thoughts? What stuck out?
I thought the energy that we had was amazing. I just felt like the Royals came out just like pounding Portland. Portland couldn't string any passes together. We were just all over them. I don't know how we didn't score more goals.
Yeah, continue to just barrage them. Maybe before we talk about goals, I hope Mandy's feeling okay, because in the 79th, she makes a big save. And does anybody remember what part of her body she used to keep that ball out of the back of the net?
Her face.
Yeah, she used her face. I don't know if she used it, but that's what kept the ball out of the back of the net.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor Mandy. How do people decide they want to be a goalkeeper?
I don't know.
I
she
am
have
the
like
world's biggest
siblings?
Yeah.
Was she the baby of the family?
Did she have brothers that just beat the tar out of her and she is just immune to pain?
Yeah.
Stockton, could you be a goalkeeper?
No. Oh, no.
Yeah, not a snowball's chance I could. I would flinch. I would curl up, and the balls would always go in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Whenever I played goalkeeper when I was younger, the ball would come towards me and I'd close my eyes and try to reach for it.
Oh, it's so scary.
Obviously, it didn't work out.
All right, so I got ahead of us a little bit. That Mandy face save was a little later, but in the 50th, we're going to take the lead. Brooke, can you walk us through that one? How did that one go down?
I don't remember how Mina got it.
All I can remember is yet another Mina
I know,
using her
that's-
body, low center of gravity, twirling, somebody pulling on her, and yet she still has the wherewithal and the strength to get the ball to go centrally across the penalty spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's somebody there streaking.
You laid it all out there. Just Mina. Freaking Mina. Assist queen.
Assist queen. How many does that make it for Mina on the season?
4.
4 assists. We need more Mina assists, but how did Chloe put that one away? How did she finish it?
All I know is it ended up in the back of the net and I was happy.
She just boots it right between Arnold and Reina Reyes, and Reina is like less than a second, like just milliseconds, a step too late to get her foot on it, and it just goes in this ball-sized space between the two of them and right into the net. I just love Chloe's celebrations. It's so simple, but just like sticking her tongue out, it cracks me up.
It's all you need is a good tongue wag. That's it.
It's just funny, especially because she seems so quiet. So then just a funny little goal celebration from her is just extra funny.
She was just trying to taste the tears of the Portland fans as they rain down from the stands.
Yeah, this is right in front of the Riveters.
Yeah, I love it.
She did say at one point that she loves being the spoiler in Portland. So
yeah, that's true. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't going to end on a 2-1 Utah Royals. We weren't going to take 3 points from this match because do either of you want to get into it? Do we want to talk about the refereeing? Do we want to talk about the decisions towards the end of that match? A call that we rarely see. Like, what do you want to go into? We're not in jeopardy of getting fined by the league. We can say whatever we want. So what do you want to talk about? How do we want to go down this path?
That ref sucked.
Yep. Enough said.
Oh, that 8-second call, I'm pretty sure was wrong. And then Portland flopped and got a penalty kick. Ugh.
Yeah.
Let's take it piece by piece. Let's talk about the 8-second call. Brooke, were you going to go there?
Like, yes, I know that 8-second rule is a rule, obviously, but it's never called. I think we've seen it one time and I think it was like a national team game. They do not call that. So of all times for him to call that was just real convenient timing for when Portland was pushing for the equalizer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't have written down what minute that was, but the result of the call, as everybody now knows, is that the other team gets a corner kick. And that corner kick happens around the 90th, but it happens, and that's what sets up the PK. But I do want to add in a little bit about that call, that 8-second call. Okay, yes, it is a rule. No, we haven't seen it. But it bugs me that referees seem to like to bring out these obscure calls on Utah teams, because how many times have you ever seen a referee also give a card and make a call for a goalkeeper who boots the ball just over the line, just over the 18? I have seen that probably one time, and it was against Nick Raimondo. The only time I've seen this season's 8-second rule called was against Mandy McGlynn.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to give a shout out to Hayden from the RSL side of the Royal Riot. He said he went back and watched and he counted the seconds. Mandy is literally dropping it out of her hands to kick it on the 9th second. You can also take into account how quickly he starts counting. So it's in Mandy's loving arms, and then he's like counting, and I don't even know if he's doing a 1 Mississippi. So I'm a little peeved. Everything you've said, it's rarely, if ever, called, and yet it leads to this corner kick that then leads to the flop, in my opinion, that leads to a PK. Would you agree? Was it a flop? Did Alexa really give her enough of a push that it warranted it? Or Stockton, what do you have to say?
Real quick, on the 8-second call, there was a Portland player still in the box in Mandy's way too. So like she couldn't exactly move and do what she needed to get rid of it on time either. So like just because the Portland player could have come up from behind and messed it up, or she was injured or something, I don't know. It was just messed up all around, and he shouldn't have called it in that situation, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point, Stockton. Maybe there should be some things that the referee should be eyeing that could be circumstantial in those moments to say, yeah, it's been more than 8 seconds, but there was a player that was negating Mandy's ability to quickly release it, or whatever situation, X, Y, or Z. Yeah, maybe they should use a little common sense and reasoning, because that's what the good Lord gave us. Okay, I like that. Thank you, Stockton.
Uh-huh.
All right, back to the PK call. Either of you watch it a couple of times, and do you have a feeling, is it truly a foul? I mean, there's always an arm placed on a player. You're always trying to keep tabs. You're always trying to feel movement. Do you think it was legit?
Of course not. I think she felt a little bit of contact on her back. She had no idea who was back there, and she just fell to the ground. And the way she got up celebrating, it was like she scored a goal. I'm like, that's a little embarrassing that you're celebrating that hard for that flop to get that penalty call, and for the ref to fall for that in that point, at that point of the game also.
Yeah, it's a shame that he fell for the flop, especially in a situation like that. You gotta, like you said, use common sense. Portland's trying anything at this point to get a goal. Yeah, but I feel bad for Alexis Spanstra, because it was she who ended up giving up the penalty.
Yeah, I wonder. I hope she has goldfish mentality with that. But yeah, sad that it was her against Portland, in Portland.
Yeah, of all teams and all players.
Yeah. And for as hard as she has worked this first half of the season, yeah, I feel bad for her. Sophia Wilson steps up to the spot. and she sends it her left. Mandy dives to her left. So they go opposite directions like two trains in the night. Never the two shall meet. And we finished the match 2-2. Portland takes a point. Utah takes a point. But I told Stockton on Slack, win or lose, it's been so phenomenal that it's just a sign of amazing things to come this second half of the season. The performance, everything we've talked about so far on this episode. Just think no sweat. It's going to be all right. Anything else you want to throw in about that match?
Just, I don't really get the narrative that Portland fans have of us being dirty. I mean, the fouls we had 12, they had 9, and they say that after every time we play them, and I don't get it.
Yeah, I saw some comments too where somebody went off and was like, they are the dirtiest team in the league. I don't see it. Am I blind by my fandom?
That's what I don't get. And there's somebody that kept posting on every platform that if we would have just acted like adults, we would have won. And I don't get what they're talking about.
I don't either. I will say another thing about the ref sucking. Pierre-Louis, quote unquote, fouled somebody, but she barely had her hand on her. And the player tripped over her own feet. And then Pierre-Louis got a yellow card for that.
It's just her presence. Because we're just a dirty team.
Yeah, apparently this was the ref who gave Diego Luna a red card and took a look at it on VAR because they said it wasn't a red card. And then he kept it a red card. And then Pro came out and rescinded the red card. So
he just hates Utah.
Yeah. He's not good.
We don't like that ref. We should, there's no way to look ahead and know who's assigned to what, is there?
I think we can on Pro's website.
Can we? Can we see that far? Can we see the rest of the season?
I don't know if they have it that far ahead scheduled, but I think at least the week of we can take a look.
Who was the ref? Let's look up his name.
It was Sergei Demyanchuk.
Say that again.
I probably said that way wrong, but you know.
No, I do. You're right, because I remember when they said his name, in my head it was Dumchuck. So, Utah Royals fans, when we are at the Riot, if we have Dumchuck, we need some signs. We need some good chants for Mr. Dumchuck so that we're prepared for him. Look, I know refereeing's not easy. It's a thankless job. It gets a lot of hate, but Mr. Dumchuck deserves a little razzing.
Those couple minutes, I don't want to be all like hating on the ref, but what the heck were those couple minutes?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a call out to the throne, the chant body of the throne. Come up with something good for Mr. Dumchuck. It was still a good match. We already mentioned it. They just demonstrated time and again in that match how good they are, how well they've gelled together. Nothing but good. Nothing but good. Well, let's do this with the last few minutes that we have. Quick awards. We can just go from the bottom of the pitch to the top of the pitch. We could do a goalkeeper of the first half of the season award, defensive first half of the season award, mid, attacking, however you want to do it. We could throw out some other superlatives, as Maggie would say. If you have another award you just want to throw out. But what do you think? And this is a tough one, I think, to start off with goalkeeper, because both Mia and Mandy were phenomenal. But who are you going to give goalkeeper of the first half of the season award to?
Mandy.
Yeah, I think I agree.
But then just to give Mia some love because she's amazing, I'm going to say Mia.
All right. Okay. That works. It's hard because she did play so many games too.
Yeah.
She was good.
We could give them the co-goalkeeper of the first half of the season award.
Sorry, DJ.
Well, we love DJ. She just didn't play in any regular season matches yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's move up the pitch. Defender of the first half of the season.
I'm going Kate.
Yeah, it has to be Kate, but shout out to Nuria.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's been killing it also. And wasn't she our highest rated player or something from this weekend, or close to, or something?
Yes, she was. An 8.7.
And she typically is. That's the thing. I remember last season always looking to see, in terms of player ratings, Nuria was always, I shouldn't say always, but predominantly she was at the top. Yeah, phenomenal.
Awesome.
I also want to shout out Tatum Milazzo. She's been excellent in her minutes this year as well. 2 goals, 1 red card that shouldn't have been the red card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another referee decision that went against us, but it's normal at this point.
Yeah.
Even though I'm the one who said let's do these awards, I actually hate doing this. And it's
Yeah.
probably trauma from my youth when our teams would do these types of awards and I rarely got them. And so I kind of feel that trauma. So I'm going to give the whole entire back line, anybody who's played there, Defender of the First Half of the Season award.
Because it really is so hard to choose. They've all been so good in their
It is.
positions.
They have been. They've been
Agreed.
stellar. The back line is phenomenal. Going way, way back in this episode to Stockton's first hot take. This is the back line. Let's go up into the mid. Let's do this. This is so lame, but who would you give the double pivot award to? Which 2 players would you give the double pivot award to?
Tahara. Narumi, yeah. Yeah, those 2.
Well,
I made it really specific. All right. Let's just do this generally. Who would you give midfielder of the first half of the season to? Who stood out? And I will say, depending on the formation, you have to include Mina in the midfield.
I know. That's why I was
Mhm.
like, I forgot about Narumi already. So then when you guys said that, I was like, oh crap, Mina.
Yeah, Mina.
I love how Stockton sounds sad. Yeah, Mina. Well, I'm going to give it to all the midfield yet again. I'm not going to single anyone out. All right. Striker of the first half of the season goes to?
Like point striker or including all 3?
However
So
you want to do it.
anybody who's played up there this season, great job. You're all MVPs.
Yes.
This has been insightful. This has been a hot take.
Says the podcast who covers all things Royals.
And
Yeah.
nothing else.
We love you all. You're all amazing.
Indeed, we do love you all.
Yeah, this was futile. I don't even know why I did this. Especially when how many times have we said the team is the star, and here we're trying to pick out individuals? This was absurd.
I know. It's so funny because, like, when you start thinking about really all of them, they've all done really well in their positions, obviously, to get us to where we are in the standings. So it's hard to be like, Kate's been the best defender. Because then you start thinking, well, Kaylee's been right there in the middle with her. Then you've got Miyabi playing out there. Then Tatum has come in. It's just, you can go through the whole line and it's like,
Yeah.
then you start
Mhm.
remembering who's on the roster and it's like, oh, crap.
Yeah, it's impossible. Well, let's finish it out with who would you give the best head coach of the first half of the season award to from the Utah Royals?
John Griffiths. Kidding, just kidding. The one
the
and
guy?
only Jimmy.
Yeah. Who's the one that stands out there with Jimmy? I sit a mile away, so I can't tell who's always out there with him.
James.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, him too. Associate head coach. I'm sure he's not named that, but we'll give him the associate title.
Well, any other awards you'd want to give out? Any accolades as we wrap up the first half?
The medical team, for the most part, keeping our players healthy, especially compared to the last 2 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have done a phenomenal job. I think some of the turnaround time we can see it's been much improved. I'm going to go out on a limb and say even the diagnoses have been much better. Yeah, I just think the whole crew, they've put together a phenomenal support staff, and this organization's firing on all cylinders and it's showing up on the pitch. So kudos to everybody, front office involved. So everybody, you're doing a phenomenal job. You all get
Amazing.
an award.
Who's the best GM?
I'm going to
Come
say
on.
best dressed and best GM goes to Connor Oniki.
Huh?
Yeah. All right. Well, if we can't think of any other hot takes, let's look forward to when we're back. Brooke, do you happen to have it up? When do we get back? What's our first match? When's the first time that fans can meet up again at the RioT?
So the next Royals game is sadly an away game. They head to Chicago to play the Stars, and that is on July 5th. That will be at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, and you can catch that on CBS Sports. And then the next home game is on Friday, July 10th, and they will be hosting Gotham. That's a late kickoff. It's an 8 p.m. Mountain Time game. So it's not too early to get your tickets, but if you can't make it, you can watch that one on Victory Plus.
Yeah, that first match not back at home, but that first match, Sunday, July 5th. I was thinking we had cleared most of our Sunday matches. That is still one of 5 more Sunday matches that we have in the second half of the season, which is kind of a
Crazy.
bummer. I know a lot of people don't care, but we have seen maybe the family dynamic isn't quite the same on Sundays. Maybe there aren't as many people. But for those who still love coming out and supporting the Royals, we'll see you on Friday, July 10th. Yeah, there's a lot of matches left, a lot of points on the table still, a lot of fun to be had, a lot of J-Dogs still to be eaten, a lot of, I'm going to cut that out. I did mention before we go that maybe there would be time for just a quick game. So here we go. What number am I thinking of? Stockton?
395,598.
Nope. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for listening. It's been a great first half of the season. We could go into so much more, but we have struggled through this one. So we're just going to end it here and say thank you for listening. We'll come back even stronger ourselves second half of the season. Maybe I'll be a little bit more prepared in the times when Maggie's not going to be around, but hopefully she'll join us that very first podcast episode back. We miss you, Maggie. You're a phenomenal voice. You're so deep with knowledge. We need you. And I've lost my ever-loving brain. So thanks for listening. Stockton, Brooke, anything you want to say on the outro?
Thanks, everyone. Love you guys.
Yep, same. Thank you for listening. We'll see you on the other side of the break.